You've hired an SEO expert, you've paid them good money, and then you spend all your time either breathing down their neck like a paranoid boss or telling them to stay in their lane. Either way, you're sabotaging your own results. Let's do this. This is SEO fucking what? I'm Nikki. I've been in SEO for over 30 years, before it was even called SEO. I help people like you make money from your website by actually getting found in search. And today we're tackling something that's been coming up more and more. The 2 ways businesses completely fuck up working with SEO freelancers and consultants. You either micromanagers, like we're your newest graduate hire who can't be trusted to make a cup of tea, or you go the opposite direction and refuse to let us anywhere near the information we need to do the job properly. Both approaches are costing you money, and honestly, both are driving good SEO people away from working with you. Let me tell you about a client I parted ways with recently. Every time I ask for conversion data, the stuff that tells me whether the traffic I'm bringing in is actually doing anything good, I got told to stay in my lane. Every time I suggested moving a call to action button because it was buried at the bottom of the page like a shameful secret, I got the same response. That's not SEO. Stick to what you know.
We've got it under control, thanks. We'll let you know if our internal experts need your help.
I get it. You've got departments. You've got territories. Everyone's got their little kingdom that they're protecting. But this is what people don't seem to understand. SEO doesn't exist in a vacuum. It never has. And it really, really definitely doesn't these days. Hiring an SEO expert but not letting them look at the bigger picture is like hiring a plumber to fix your leaky tap, but telling them they're not allowed to check your water pressure. They might get the tap working, but you're still going to have problems. And we all know who you're going to blame when your ceiling falls down. So let's talk about the 2 main ways that businesses fuck this up. First of all, the micromanagement problem. Treating freelancers like employees. And not even good employees. More like employees you don't trust to wipe their own arses.
Ew.
I've had clients who wanted daily check-ins. Daily for SEO work. What am I going to tell you every single day? Yep, we're still waiting for Google to index that page. Same as yesterday. And the day before. See you tomorrow for the exact same update. And then there's the obsession with making freelancers use your internal systems. And look, I've been doing this for 3 decades. I've got processes that work across multiple clients. I've refined these systems over years of trial and error. But sure, let me abandon all of that to learn your bespoke project management tool that someone's nephew built in 2019 and hasn't been updated since. And don't get me started on the meetings. Oh God, the meetings. Can you join our weekly team catch-up? No, I cannot. Because I have other clients. And I'm not sitting through 45 minutes of Barry from accounts talking about the new coffee machine when I could be actually doing the work you're paying me for. Because what businesses don't seem to grasp is that when you hire a freelancer, you're not hiring a remote employee. You're engaging an independent business. Someone who brings expertise from working with multiple clients across different industries. Someone who's seen what works and what doesn't across dozens of different situations. You chose a freelancer specifically to avoid the management hassle. You wanted results without the overheads of employment. So why are you now trying to manage me like I'm fresh out of university and need hand-holding through every decision? You're paying for my expertise. Let me fucking use it. And then there's the stay in your lane problem. That's the opposite end of the spectrum. The clients who don't micromanage your process as such, but do restrict your access to everything you need to deliver results. When I ask for mobile versus desktop conversion data, it's not because I'm bored and fancy a bit of one-on-one spreadsheet action. It's because I can see your mobile traffic is bouncing, and I suspect your conversion rates are shite too. That information directly affects my SEO recommendations. When I suggest changing your call to action button test from submit inquiry, which sounds like you're filing a complaint with the council, to something that might actually encourage people to click it, that's not me overstepping. That's me trying to make sure the traffic I bring you does something useful. And when I ask for heat map data to see where people are giving up and leaving your pages, I'm not trying to steal your UX team's job. I'm trying to understand user behavior so I can optimize for it. Google's been clear about this for years. User experience signals matter. If people land on your site from a search result, immediately think, sod this, and go back to Google, that tells Google your page wasn't a good answer to their query. Your rankings will suffer. So when you tell me to stay in my lane and tell me to only worry about keywords and rankings, you're asking me to do half a job. And then you wonder why you're not getting the results you expected. And there's a real cost of getting this wrong. Because let's say your SEO work successfully doubles your organic traffic over 6 months. Brilliant. Except if your conversion rate is rubbish, because nobody's looking at the user experience, you've just doubled the number of people who visit your site and fuck right off without buying anything or booking a call. Or maybe your conversion rate is fantastic, but your mobile experience is so poor that Google starts ranking you lower. And all that beautifully converting traffic disappears. And nobody can figure out why. Because this is what happens when teams work in isolation, or when freelancers aren't given access to the full picture. You optimize for one metric while accidentally sabotaging another. You fix one problem, but you create 3 more. And I've watched businesses spend thousands on SEO to drive more traffic, then watch their inquiry numbers stay flat, because nobody thought to check if their contact forms worked on a mobile. I've seen companies with brilliant products lose rankings because their developers optimized the site in ways that confused search engines, and nobody thought to involve the SEO person in that decision. It's maddening, and it's completely avoidable. Okay, so here's the fix you've been waiting for. How do you actually work with an SEO expert, freelancer or otherwise, in a way that gets you results? So first of all, brief properly up front. Spend time on detailed project briefs or onboarding calls. Explain your objectives, your expectations, your deadlines, and how you'll measure success. Share relevant background about your business, your customers, your competitors. Freelancers can't read your mind about your company history or your unstated preferences. Secondly, establish clear communication from the start. Agree on the methods and frequency up front. Some freelancers prefer email, others use project tools. Some provide weekly updates, some monthly, others provide milestone check-ins. Figure out what works for both of you before the project starts, not halfway through when everybody's already pissed off. Set response time expectations both ways. If you need 24-hour responses, discuss that during the talks. And remember, it goes both ways. If you take 2 weeks to approve something, don't expect the freelancer to magically absorb that delay. And for the love of all that is holy, clarify what urgent actually means. If everything's urgent, nothing is. Define what constitutes a real emergency versus a standard turnaround time. Thirdly, give your freelancer access to what they need. Your SEO expert needs to see conversion data, user behavior insights, analytics. They need to understand what's happening after people land on your site. If you're hiding this information because it belongs to a different department, you're capping their ability to deliver results. Let them talk to your developers when technical changes are needed. Let them see your sales data so they understand what makes customers buy. Stop treating information like it's classified government secrets. You're not that important. And fourthly, respect their expertise. You hired your SEO because they know things you don't. So when they make recommendations, don't demand that they justify every single one with a detailed explanation of basic SEO principles, backed up by exact percentages or data of how much traffic you'll get. If you want to understand their approach, ask questions, but let them apply their professional judgment. And if you disagree with a recommendation, have a conversation about it. Don't just override them and then blame them when results don't materialize. And fifthly, trust their processes. Most good freelancers have systems refined across multiple clients. These ensure consistent quality and timely delivery. If you need specific tools or methods, discuss that during hiring, not mid-project when they've already set everything up. Don't micromanage their schedule or ask for timesheets. As long as deadlines are met, how they structure their work time shouldn't be your concern. They might do their best work at 6 o'clock in the morning or still be squirreling away at midnight. It doesn't matter as long as the work gets done. Freelancing isn't 9 to 5. Sixth and last, plan for success. Book your freelancers in advance. Good ones are scheduled weeks ahead. Plan for potential delays on your end and factor those into project timelines. Provide all the necessary resources up front: passwords, assets, access to systems, whatever they need to get started. Nothing wastes time more than a freelancer sitting around waiting for you to send them the login details you promised 3 days ago. The choice here is pretty simple. You can respect your SEO expert as an independent professional and get excellent results. Or you can try to manage them like a junior employee while simultaneously refusing to give them the information they need and frustrate everyone involved. And good freelancers won't tolerate either extreme for long. They'll find clients who understand the value of expertise and independence. And you'll be back on the market looking for another SEO person wondering why you keep having the same problems. Your SEO expert isn't trying to take over your business when they ask for conversion data or suggest UX improvements. They're trying to make sure the traffic they bring you actually makes you money. That's the whole point. If this episode resonated with you, or if you want to share it with a client who needs to hear it, make sure you're following SEO fucking what in whatever app you're using so you don't miss the next episode. And if you've got a horror story about micromanagement or being told to stay in your lane, drop me a message on LinkedIn or by email. I'd love to hear it. I might even put the best ones together for a future episode. Until next time, get found, make money, be non-wanky.